It's morning for some of us, evening for others. But yet again, another episode of Final Fantasy Pathfinder. Oh no. No, I'm seeing it here. I'm not seeing feedback coming from desktop audio. That's abysmal. Hang on. Okay, there we go. Did somebody say something?
Testing.
Saying something.
There it is.
Queen.
We got desktop audio again. This
Excellent.
wasn't getting system audio through. It was just me, just the mic.
I hope it wasn't this way the entire time.
Oh, I'm sure it was like that this entire time. We
And we
are
also
an
got an
hour
hour
and 2 minutes into this.
Well, hopefully the recording got
it.
No. If it wasn't going through there, it wasn't going through there either. The recording
Oh
wasn't
my
picking up any
gosh.
of that. Okay,
Have to do a
so
summary.
welcome back,
Make sure we-
everyone. We're gonna fucking we're gonna have a link and it's gonna
Recap.
jump straight to this. Recapping real quick. The party arrived here at the sort of compound on the backside of Retreat Reef, where they met up with Jorah and Phil, the pair of sort of
I mean,
rough...
if they heard you, they should have a rough idea of
Yeah.
what's going on.
I'm just because presumably they should have skipped up to here. Is my point.
Yeah.
Met up with Jorah and Phil,
Oh yeah.
the rough folk that they met up in the tavern earlier. They, after a series of very, very competent diplomacy checks from Nell, they managed to get back 6 members of the crew, and Kaya the Dryad, without any combat, without any bloodshed. They made their decision that they also wanted Prince Roderick, and that they would leave them the airship, and Prince Roderick was given to them. And they had the first interactions with a very beefy, young whom, and are now running off to go back to the airship, which Koke, Cookie, Kaya in a cage, and the rest of the crew have already departed for. They're going to try to run off with that before anybody catches them running off with that. So that's where we are here. Sorry, all the audio is broken.
As we approach the ship, I want to morph into a cockatrice because it has more movement than the bat. And I want to fly up to the bridge as fast as I can and turn the trap off while everyone's getting to it so they can get up safely.
So as you all kind of walk over there, there's a moment where Ben kind of like looks at the land in front of him and like looks at the chocobo tracks all over the place. And starts thinking like, now I know we changed the trap around a little. I don't quite remember. And then Koke into a cockatrice, and Kaya like looks at her. It's like, oh look, it's this one of the... flies away up onto the top of the ship.
It's one of my old pets.
It is actually one of your pets that I ate, so I'm sorry about that.
And there's a click, and there's a little bit of a magical as the little crossbow deanimates and hangs limp over the cargo doors. And they all walk in. Eleanor, Tyro, Nell, Chef, what are y'all up to?
We're leaving.
Hell out of Dodge.
We're leaving.
We're heading out.
Just as casual a walk as possible out the door.
Yep.
Okay. As y'all walk casual, could I get a perception check from all 4 of you?
Okay.
Let's see.
Let's see if anyone's put points in it this level.
I actually did.
I have 5 ranks in perception.
It's not even a
Oh,
class
I see
skill
all!
for me.
I know all!
Nell's rolls tonight.
Now,
Oh.
as you look and you feel feel weird, as if you're being controlled by an outwardly force.
I feel like I'm being controlled by an asshole.
You look up, and you see 6 nerds around the table.
Mhm.
And I still outdo you.
Fuck you!
Crits override it.
Jesus Christ.
Should I roll? Should I roll perception?
No, you're. Well, actually, yeah. No, from where you are, you can go ahead and roll one too. As they all walk up on you. Yeah, you guys are still in the cave. Nell and Tyro, as you're walking through the sort of ropes and crossways through Retreat Reef, you notice a couple of people in the on the balconies rooftops above you, kind of just like watching you, and you notice a couple of guys in independent spots in the sort of crowd, slowly tailing you guys as you work your way towards the exit. As you kind of get to this clearing bit right before the exit, they stop sort of in the town area and kind of disappear again into the mix.
They aren't tailing anymore.
Not at the moment, not while you guys are here rejoining with Echo.
Did I see them?
Yeah, Echo, you would have seen a little bit of that. You would have seen the people tailing him.
Did they look familiar?
No, you didn't know.
We're getting tailed by urban ninjas.
Probably making sure we aren't causing any more trouble in the town.
Yeah.
Most likely.
You guys going out?
By the time we get to the ship, it'll be too late for them to report back anyway.
Yeah, let's get
Yeah.
out of here.
Yeah.
Everybody's
But
leaving.
I'm gonna keep a wary eye out just in case I happen to catch them outside
Yeah.
again.
Grab the
Yeah.
burb.
I'll follow them because that's everybody as far as I'm.
Okay.
The moment
As a-
everyone gets on the ship, I would be like, we need to get this thing ready to go now. And because Cookie's with us, so
Hmm.
Zooming out here.
As a side note, kind of like out of character, I had actually taken communal mount with level 5. So if this had all gone to shit, I
Hey,
could have actually
put
summoned up to
five-
5. I could have summoned up to 6 chocobos for us.
I put 5 skill ranks in pilot.
Yeah.
And, well, I can't grant people an extra move action once a day, so there's that.
Mhm.
Can you grant the ship an extra move action?
I don't think that counts. I'm pretty sure that's DM discretion, but I'm
Does it
pretty
target a
fucking
creature?
sure that won't roll.
Why is she still inside the cage? We
Oh,
freed
yeah.
her.
You freed her.
And none of us are bugs, so we're not keeping it.
As soon as we exit town, by the way, Nell just takes a deep sigh of relief and goes, thank Ocean that actually worked.
You're gonna feel a comforting pat on the shoulder from Ellen.
Alright, now phase 2.
Well, we trying to get out of here then?
Yes.
That we are.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. Let's try to be quick about this.
Yes.
Quickly. Yeah, go ahead and let the boys know where they need to be. Can we help?
I sure can say so. Here.
Before anyone goes up in that ship, I'm reclaiming my bear trap.
Yeah.
Okay.
As you all look over the chocobo
Chef's the last one in.
tracks, and like the chef, you find your slightly leaf-covered, slightly
Bear trap.
concealed bear trap that was on what used to be the only path in, but is now just a random bear trap. You know, somewhere in the 100 feet that someone could walk into the ship. You retrieve it, got your bear trap back.
Yes.
All right.
Another day, bear trap. Another day.
Someday.
I'm waiting for, Yagathon to come out of the cosmos and like hit him in the nose with it.
Bear trap.
You need
Throw a
to
bear
put
trap.
points into bluff, and then it's like, hey, do you want to wear a nice hat? Just hand them the bear trap.
I'm waiting
Or
for him
just
to make
throw
like a,
anything.
I'm just waiting for Chef to make like a Mario weapon out of that thing and just put a chain on and just like, spin it into somebody.
If you do that, I better
No,
play
I'm
the
not
fucking
going to.
Mario
I'm not
theme.
going. I'm not. All right, fine. I'll get Koke with their craft wondrous item to create a fucking chain chomp.
I'll do it.
Uh,
That sounds something metal enough for me to do.
Cookie asks Echo and
Put
Kaya
rockets on it.
to go up to the bridge to help with the crystal.
Question: Inspire confidence, where it basically helps people succeed at a task. Can that help to speed them up?
That depends on how it's worded,
Speed
I
them
think.
up. I mean, what for? It depends on what skill it is, I guess.
Just basically says it's a bardic performance. A bard at their level or higher can use their performance to help an ally succeed at a task.
Yeah, for the
That
sake of
sounds like
like,
it's.
for
that
the
sounds like
sake
more
of,
a skill check.
well, yeah, no, it is for a skill check. But the point is, that's something that you could use for this sort of like, we're trying to get this thing going, and you're helping somebody succeed rather than instead of like failing and trying and failing and trying and getting
Yeah.
over time, you are speeding it up if you were to use that. Yeah, sure.
Okay.
You're inspiring better performance.
You're making better
Yeah,
use of time.
The airship. This is the airship equivalent of a sea shanty.
An oxygen shanty.
I'm gonna see the requirement for bardic performance since I never use this freaking ability.
The ally gets a +2 confidence bonus on skill checks with a particular skill as long as she continues to hear the bard's performance.
An
Do I
ally
need to
or all
perform
allies?
too?
The ally must be within 30 feet.
One
Okay,
person.
so you make a who you helping then?
In that case, since Kyra's been in that case for the longest time, I'm gonna help her out.
Okay, so you follow after her. I'll dump you up on the bridge with her.
Yeah.
Giving her nature shame.
Yeah, sure, let's go with that.
All right.
Sure.
Fucking Zizin's just gonna hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, you're fucking. I'll
You
put
should guard the airs. There's 2 of them now.
Yeah,
Guard the airs.
I'm grouping them. They're hanging out in the dining room.
All right.
Next to the
Hopefully
big
not-
hole.
hopefully
come to
not-
Think of it.
Not next to the open hole in the wall, please.
Do I need to roll perform for that, or does it just happen?
Do you have to roll for that, or what is the class feature
Just says
say?
it's trained to use a performance skill to create magical effects on those around them,
Uh,
and can use the ability for number of rounds per day equal to 4 plus charisma modifier.
Well, then yeah, you would have to roll for it.
it says use the performance
But
skill.
what's
Does it
the
have a
DC?
DC?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to figure out. I don't see a DC.
Huh.
Is that just on the plain bard page?
You want to take a
It
peek
might
at
just
that real
be.
quick?
It might just be like Rin's song of you use it every 6 seconds and you just burn your rounds for it.
Oh,
Really
it's
use it for something else, so-
I wouldn't worry about it right now.
No, I think inspire competence is part of the normal inspiration song. Like it tacks on the bonus to skill checks as long as they're in the range of the normal inspiration.
What?
Basically, or like how your inspire courage is just it's the same thing, but you just choose skill bonus instead, which I don't think which isn't a perform check. It's just I start singing.
The only thing I see with a DC on this page is just the sonnets, which is a completely separate thing. So yeah, let's.
To be fair, with a +2, that's pretty tame. It's conceivable that they really do just mean that to be a,
It is definitely just a tacked on to the Song of People ability.
Okay, you following Kaya around playing her nature songs. She seems far more comfortable.
Just the sound of bird song.
Yeah. Well, I might with a little
Quack.
piccolo, just making like.
Yeah,
That's how I'm
can I
doing with
sing
the
along?
violin, but I do it.
Yeah, it's like you're singing, and you have Echo doing chorus.
I want to sing along. I don't have a perform skills, but I can still kind. I don't think I need a perform skill to try and
Make
sing.
a D20 and add your charisma modifier to it. Just
Play
fucking
Freebird.
charisma check.
Oh, take a step back first so you're inside the aura.
That's pretty
Alright.
good for you.
And the bird pretty competently sings along with your song. Like God. Like this
She's
bird
comfy
can
now,
tear you
channeling
tweet.
magic.
But yeah, Tyro, Eleanor, Chef. I still don't have a place for any of you. Where are you running to as everyone scrambles onto the ship?
I'm gonna go get situated in the big ass gun room.
Get on the cannon.
It's mine now.
Yeah.
Bye, cannon.
Are the spikes still here?
The spikes are still here. All the holes are still here. All the spikes are still here.
Yeah.
This thing
Tyro,
has not
Eleanor?
been repaired.
All right.
Where are you?
Silent
Where are you?
Tyro
going?
is me.
Tyro, why don't you go help them upstairs? I'm gonna go be with the heirs.
Yeah, might as well.
And Pep. And yep. you
I'm
got
already
it.
separated.
Yeah. Yeah, just go here. You
give
here?
another
I don't
Tyro.
trust Zessin to be alone with.
Koke, make a knowledge technology check.
With my book bonus.
Let's hope this
So, is anyone by the navigator's helm thing?
adds up to like 40. Yeah, it
Yeah, not yet.
does.
Sure, Koke's gonna fly up there in a moment.
And as you two dart around the ship, very, very competently, the whole thing starts back up again. And who's Eleanor?
How many do you need down here?
Hmm?
Cookie.
Now that we're going, we're good. I can keep this thing running. I've got him. And he points over to the corner. There's just like a dude there. He'll hold stuff. It'll be fine.
Hey, it's that guy.
Thumbs up. I'm
that
gonna
guy.
go and take the helm then.
Alright. Eleanor, make a perception check for me.
Okay.
You have the unique capacity to do this right now.
Oh.
No pressure.
Yeah, I'm totally gonna fail this.
Roll.
Let's see.
Roll your crit.
Yeah,
Come on, Laser Doggo.
that works.
24. Nice, nice. As everyone's running around, like you hear like the ship start to kind of rumble. And by the way, this whole time the whole ship is on about a 20-degree tilt.
Yeah, it's tilted.
Yeah.
Like everyone's like running around like as the ship's leaning. You hear from out the hole in the side of the ship, "Hey, no, you got the prince. Quit it."
We're going. Lift off. Turning the trap back
Get
on.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I'm looking out the window.
As
Somebody said left a
appears-
bear trap down there.
someone was
I'm
keeping
not
an eye
leaving
on
my
you
bear trap
guys.
behind. Fuck you. These things are expensive.
I'll buy you another. How much are they?
This is my bear trap. There are many like it, but this one is mine.
I just imagine like a little smiley face being etched into the metal.
Mhm.
The chef hugging
teeth.
it.
It
It's got
already
teeth on
has
either
a
side.
smiley face.
Yeah.
It just needs googly eyes.
Give it angry eyebrows.
I can burn some in for you if you want.
I'll use my craft wondrous to make you googly eyes later.
Yes.
The eyes of googling.
Yeah, okay, invents both Dungeons and Dragons and googly eyes in this campaign.
Well, the eyes
gonna
of
be
googling
rich.
would just be an automatic take 20 on knowledge checks. Like
Yeah.
Get a patent on googly eyes.
Making a mimic bear trap.
Eleanor,
caves and creatures might be
as
really
you
good.
peek out the window, as you see yelling, you see Phil and Jorah kind of down below you, like waving their arms with like a few other dudes with crossbows.
Yeah.
You see Phil start running in, like under the ship, and you see Jorah yell something to him. And Koke, you see on the little panel with you where like all your switches are, you see the little the switch for turning the trap on and off. There's like a little red light that comes on for a couple seconds, then goes off.
Oh,
Well, the moment it comes on, I want to flick it.
As you flick it, the light turns off.
Oh, good.
whatever that does.
Oh God.
taking the whack-a-mole approach to piloting, I see those points have been spent well.
All right, you guys, you leaving as soon as the buttons are yours to push.
Yes.
All right.
The moment we can lift off, I am lifting off.
Alright, she's just gonna yell, "Sorry, but we have the kingdom's peace to think about."
I'm so glad I'm not down there.
Then
Have
just
my
get away,
deepest sympathy.
and then get away from the
You
window,
fuckers got swindled! Woo!
and then get away from the window before the vacuum of taking off takes her with it.
Oh yeah, no.
Eleanor, make a reflex save for me.
Oh god.
Oh shit!
Oh god.
Good-
Why'd
you shouldn't have
say
mentioned
something?
it. Good job.
Hang on.
I appreciate that Koke's taking like the Rick approach to this.
Wait, what was it? Okay,
Reflex, yeah.
I mean, when you're more intelligent than everything else around
there it
you.
is.
No.
Oh!
As
Our meat shield!
as the airship starts to kind of rock and Eleanor stumbles for a second, a crossbow bolt comes flying through the window and pierces you in the left shoulder.
Oh.
Of all the things, that is kind of like the kindest thing that could have
I'm
happened.
okay with that. I'm okay with that.
You take 6
Ow.
points of piercing damage. As
Oh
a
no, I
dude-
lost.
As a
I
dude
lost the HP I gained when I leveled up.
quite confidently pegs you with a crossbow bolt.
Land hands good as new.
You hear somebody yell, "Yeah, I got him!" And you hear somebody else yell, "Ow!" And he turns around and his friend has shot him in the shoulder with a crossbow bolt because he rolled a 1.
These guys are idiots.
As the airship rolls away back up into the sky with a thunderous sort of crackly, rumbly thunder thing. It's really hard to describe. It's like being in an engine.
It's a cacophonous
Sure.
noise.
As the cacophony of magical machinery surrounding you guys wibbles you away into the sky.
All right.
I will use the radio,
Alright.
the Magitech radio, to ask if everything's all cool down in the engine room with Cookie.
Cookie kind of like, after a couple seconds, you'd be here. Yep, all fine so far. We got enough juice in the tank for probably 300 miles, maybe 200 miles. Where are we going?
Lullen,
All right. I
we're
say,
going to Lullen.
bring it all back to the
Alright, if
wall
we're up in the air,
And off to Lullen.
I'm no longer playing my tune or whatever. They should be good from there.
there. All right.
Okay.
Actually, could I get a? If you're trained in it, could I get a spellcraft check? If not, just add your casting mod. And if your crafting mod's better, then just add your casting mod to just make a check for me. Tyro, Eleanor, no, not Tyro. Tyro, fucking Echo, and Kaya.
I thought you were telling me I was like,
let's
I
see.
haven't
Spellcraft.
Said it was
trained,
said
but
it was spellcraft. Okay.
Spellcraft
casting-
or
There we go.
your
Or-
casting mod.
Your casting mod, or if your spellcraft's better, to use your spellcraft. But
I don't have spellcraft.
then you're just a
So
casting
just your
mod.
nice.
Nice.
you were in tune with the aether.
Now wait, is
Now,
this
if
a
only
is
I-
this a
Now, if only I'd used that to actually learn something from cooking, that would have been nice. watch me try to learn something. I'll roll a fucking nat 1. Jesus.
don't
As-
fucking jinx it.
Echo, like you reach out with your feathered wings and like you focus, and there's like a little bit of a sort of divine like magical thing as the sort of your white magical force enters this big crystal and it starts to glow slightly. And then Tyro, you look at it and you're like, oh, I get it. And then just beam of energy comes out of you straight into this thing. The airship just jolts up into the sky as you're leaving. And Echo, you're just sitting there looking at him like, well, geez.
Be a little bit gentler with the ship.
You know,
Well.
as
We do have, numerous holes and things still piercing the hull.
Well,
how's the breeze in the BFG room?
not that breezy. A little breezy just because of the holes, but largely they're mostly plugged by the implements that made them. Well, you guys are heading off to Lowell now?
Is any of the radio things go down to the dining room or not?
There's one that is for the whole ship, but they don't have a return for the dining room, I don't think. Maybe one for the kitchen, but they're not for the dining room itself. You could have one installed later.
I will announce to the ship. Eleanor, can you come to the hole Echo made in the ground between the floors that we're on?
The fire.
Okay.
Can you climb up the fireman's pulley?
Well, no, I don't really need her to climb it. I just need her to be within shouting distance while I pilot.
Okay, she's gonna walk up to the bottom of the stairs.
You're gonna have to give me an audio confirmation that you're there. From here.
Don't have that many eyes yet.
There's a.
One day.
You're standing under a hole. You can vaguely hear her one floor above you shouting.
She's just gonna go upstairs.
Are
Okay.
you free
Can you?
fireman pulling yourself up this just pole? Make a fucking
Try.
climbs in athletics, right? So yeah, make an athletics check. Or
Athletics.
Sorry,
It's
acrobatics. Or
climb.
is climb still a
Acrobatics.
skill? Am I
Am
going
I just
crazy?
gonna pull myself up with strength? I don't know.
Hang on,
I mean, this can all be just avoided by shouting. It's only a single question.
all right, all right.
What?
Dark now. Okay,
What
yeah,
is
make a
it?
climb check. Make a climb check.
I'll
Never
just-
mind.
I'll
It's
just-
it's
I'll
still
just
in the
shout.
system.
I'll still shout.
Okay. Just,
What is it?
So, Lullin was commissioning an airship or something like that. Do you have a place for this to park, or am I going to have to park outside the city again?
Rack my
Eleanor,
character's brain.
you as a Knight of Lullen know that there is nowhere they have for an airship to park. And you also don't know. You heard rumors about it, but you don't know anything about them commissioning an airship.
I do.
Yeah, well, you.
I don't know. I don't know anything about our airship, but I don't think there's anywhere to park. No.
Fine, I'll park outside again. I'll try and find a nice foresty area so that we can lose our dryad for a few weeks. So she can be happy.
Hey, at
Just
least
turn
we're
her
getting there.
loose.
We'll take this one step at a time.
Yeah, she's just gonna end up being like our foliage bitch.
Be free, be free,
just
Dryad.
drop the airship and then just cover it with
Foliage
plants.
I mean, there was. Hang on. How foresty around the Chaos Shrine was it?
Very. Extremely.
Okay,
It was in
so
a
I
forest.
I'm
can't-
gonna land the airship on
I
the
can't-
shrine.
I can't land on the shrine then, or near it.
Where is it from?
Wow, that'd be terrible.
It's called the
Garland's
Chaos
like-
Shrine for a reason.
Garland's like, I'll
80%
crush
of the
you.
downside
And
alone.
Koke's like, yeah, no.
Okay,
I'll
it's just like
crush
I'll crush you.
I'll just let the fucking airship on top of you, motherfucker. But I mean, it's kind of out of the way. No one uses it. We can kind of put the airship near it, maybe, and
Park on the
We'll
roof.
figure that out once we start getting closer.
it's got a throne, and I really want to sit on it.
Where did the princes go during all this?
Where did the what go?
The princes, you know.
Right
Yoda.
They're
now,
in the
They're,
dining room.
They're together in the dining room with Sir Zezin kind of watching them. It's very breezy in there.
We should probably talk to them, considering Roderick has no clue what the hell we're doing right now.
Yeah.
If someone
Nell,
would like
Nell,
to.
you can. Nell, if you want to come up, Eleanor's busy.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll
Yota
go to them.
probably.
Yeah, because I'm a little bit busy showing up this chocobo here how to do magic.
I'm driving.
I'll be right back.
Clear skies the whole
All right.
Excellent. I'm happy that the storms calmed down.
Let's see, overland speed here.
Don't
well,
tempt fate.
I've already tempted fate so many fucking times this session, so
We got away with the prince and the airship with like no effort.
I wouldn't call a rolling a 16, an 18, and a 20 no effort.
We did it in 3 rolls. It wasn't like a hard pressed thing either.
Well,
Mine has
there goes my backup plan for
Yeah.
using communal mount. Oh well.
Well, if you heard, we only have like we can make it to Lullen and that'll be it. We'll need to get fuel for the
Again-
ship.
True.
getting the fuel is gonna be a bitch.
Yeah.
The only problem
We're
is
gonna
I
have to
can
go to
only summon up,
Moonbright.
the downside is I can only summon up the 6 chocobos, and it's basically 2 hours per level divided by the number of mounts I make. So literally, for 6 mounts, you only get them for 1.6 hours.
Don't tell me that this is going to be like the start of 15 where we have to push the airship to fucking Moonbright.
Everybody gets ropes. They
Moonbright's
carry like
over water.
a Macy's Day parade balloon the rest of the way there.
Oh, we push it there, see the water, and just go, well, shit.
Well, then it's a boat. You push it into the water and you just paddle across.
I'm not going to test
Remember
at the
full of holes.
Yeah, exactly.
But
The
yeah,
holes are plugged, mostly.
Just no.
Not that big side one.
you guys have about 9.25 hours of travel ahead of you.
By
Oh,
As opposed to like what, over a week by foot, probably like
yeah,
by-
half a week
by
by
foot,
foot.
Like,
it's
yeah, how
a
long have
many
we been
days.
traveling?
Oh yeah.
For you guys, fucking how long would it be if you were going by foot? Fucking
Didn't we like rest and it was like 8 hours away to
yeah,
the
it
reef?
would take, by my estimate here, like nine discrete travel sessions from where you are back to Lowland. 9 8-hour days of pip. Luckily,
Uh,
So we have, because yeah, isn't this thing basically a day of travel per hour, like with how the
kind
speed
of
works out?
essentially. In fact,
So-
almost exactly. I mean, I took out the math here. It's
So
almost
we-
exactly a day of travel per hour.
So we've effectively close to literally decimated our travel.
been used correctly. I'm
in a
so
way, yeah.
happy.
I'm so proud of you, Trig.
I'm confused.
I didn't even hear him.
He said we've very closely decimated our travel time.
And that is the correct use of the
we're
word.
decimated.
So if we have 9.5 hours, I want to start working on proficiency with this marksman's gunblade. Just like swinging it
Okay.
around.
So yeah, some people are going down and meeting with Roderick and Yoda and Zezen.
Okay.
Before I go down there to meet them, though,
Chef's
I'm grabbing
practicing with
some
the
food,
gunblade.
'cause
Where are you practicing with
that's
the
been-
gunblade?
I was gonna just do it in that room,
Alright. Just in the bridge room or in the in
in the
your gun
BFG,
room.
in the BFG corridor.
Mm-hmm. And this would actually be a pretty good spot if we do want to take a break while this travel happens, and we can split an episode here.
Yeah,
Might
sure.
be a good idea.
Yay.
'Cause I heard, yeah, somebody want to go for a snack. I could go for some water even. So
Yeah, I'll
Yeah.
burp too.
we'll
I
end
just-
this
I
one
wanna ask
here
quickly-
real quick. Okay, yeah, sure.
Well,
Ask-
yeah,
ask your thing.
we'll just
Okay,
in off time we'll talk about it.
End this one here real quick. There's going to be a cut. Next episode's going to start. We're trying to break this up to be a little bit shorter, so that they're a little bit easier to, between your different devices, watch all of it. So yeah, we'll see you guys in
Next
just a
time on
couple
Game
of
Grumps.
moments. Next time.
Oh my god.
No.
Yeah, no. Don't sue us. Oh. And welcome
I'm
back.
gonna heat up some food.
Well, yeah, no,
And cut.
we're going on break. We're going on break here real quick. I'm gonna switch it over to Pathfinder pre-stream. There we go. We'll do a welcome back in a couple minutes here.
What I wanted to ask with this proficiency training, like what kind of time am I looking at here? And should I be using up ammo?
I'm gonna check to see a good timeline here.
I think it's like 5 days to retrain a feat, sort of thing.
Yeah, no, that's kind of what I assumed would be a good timeline for it.
Yeah, there's actually something that I wanted Ellen to retrain. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Well, you have 9 hours to work on it now.
Yeah.
Which
Yeah, the question is, can
It's-
I actually get away for 9 hours to actually speak with Cookie to try and train in that magic?
Well, if we're heading back to Lullen, Ellen's gonna wait to talk to her master.
the 5 days is assuming 8 hours,
Mhm.
like
5
because you only have
discrete
8
8-hour
eight
sessions.
working, so 40 hours total
Yeah.
required. Can I just like
You can take it off.
take
on an
away
hour
the
by hour
nine and a
basis.
the 9.5,
Sure.
like just playing with this thing and then
Mhm.
swinging it around and scaring everybody with random gunshots.
Yeah, and as you all like kind of listen, you just sitting there like, oh yeah, then it's looking pretty good, Zazin. Bang! What the fuck was that? Bang! Oh, like eventually, like somebody kind of peeks in, like, hey, what's going on? And like ducks, like a hole goes through the door. Like, glances over, like you're sitting there just holding a gunblade, just flailing it around.
Don't hit anything important, chef.
Mhm.
So how many rounds do you think I should take off for this? Nine. This. What'd you say? It was 9.5.
Yeah, about 9.5 hours of travel.
All right.
I'm gonna take off.
I'll just do the 8 hours because I want probably to talk with people and,
Yeah,
or at least be there for important things.
go ahead and take off like 20 rounds. A lot, but shooting a lot.
Mhm.
Taking an attempted shot with a swing every couple minutes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go get some water real quick. I'll be right back in a moment, and we'll see if we can get going again.
That went way too smoothly. We have
This is
someone
gonna
on
bite
board.
us in the ass.
We have somebody on board. Absolutely, we have somebody on board that's going to attempt to try and take the ship back when we land. So,
We'll see.
I'm gonna learn how to use this gunblade. It's gonna be so kick-ass to have just like this sidearm that's not only a gun but also a blade.
we all know how much you want to be edgy, Squall.
Yeah.
I mean, Squall already is edgy, so that's kind of like a unnecessary.
You shall be the infinite to the shadow. So if you think
Oh,
shadows,
come on, that hurts a little bit.
good.
It is unfortunate there's no actual like design for a two-handed gunblade.
I mean, you can just two-hand it.
Yeah, but I mean like an actual.
Speaking of which, two-handing lets you put 1.5 times your strength on things with
Yes.
especially with a two-handed weapon. I've not been doing that
Why not?
because I forgot it was a thing.
Oh my god.
I forget about it too.
I don't, because my bite damage gets the 1.5 as well, and I have to pick between whether or not I'm one-handing because I
And
can
back.
one hand.
Man,
Yeah.
come back.
I'll burp real quick myself.
Okay,
What I miss?
not much.
Just chef scaring people with the gunblade, trying to train in it.
Yeah, we're also
So we
taking.
are back then? Or?
We're
Okay.
taking a break still.
Okay. I left right when it said breaks. I didn't know where you came
No,
from.
we're still just chilling. Yeah, once we get back to Lullen, I was already thinking about doing this, but I'm gonna go find Ellen's master and get a retrain going. I'm going to replace Smite Evil with Paladin Oaths. Because I'm not using it, really.
The bird has returned.
Welcome back.
Thank you.
Which is...
So, are we waiting on anybody, or is that?
We're just waiting on Will. Just taking a break. I already went and got a drink.
I'm sorry, but that felt way too easy. Some sense of foreboding.
Let's see.
Granted, once again, the people I used to play with, we used to have a DM that was basically a huge dick and made sure that the whole story was always against the player. So I just paranoia.
don't blame you.
That's not fun at all.
That's awful.
It's really bad if you make it an arms race between DMs and players, because the DM will always win.
Yep.
And the whole point of the game is the person who is telling the story is letting the players have fun. You give them challenges and you give them rewards. I can't stand DMs and GM stories where they are telling their story. If you're gonna do that, just write a fucking book.
Mm-hmm.
That and the DM and the player are supposed to work together to make a pretty fantastic story. That's sort of what the roles are for.
Yeah, a DM is only as good as his or her players and the things that they can do. Do I need to go into the story of how a generic cleric became possibly one of my most favorite characters I've ever created because of these idiots? Her entire personality and everything comes from how they interacted with this faceless NPC.
Oh, you're talking about Louise.
I'm talking about Louise. And she is now a part of the party. She's got her own quirks. She's fantastic. And she is completely from what these morons did to her.
Well, we basically got 2 NPCs that are pretty much alive due to the player's actions, so...
And one NPC due to sheer dumb luck.
Yeah.
Sorry, Zezin.
I mean, I'm totally okay with having, like in the other campaigns, Will has the comedy relief. Like, the characters are still competent, like Kairos, Jesus Christ, but the personalities are still comic relief. I kind of enjoy having Zezin around as our comic relief, because, I mean, Echo aside, we're all pretty serious.
I was going to say that Echo...
I'm serious too. I'm just a bird.
Yeah, seriously funny. Fist bump.
I don't know, I like to think that sometimes Nell and Cookie's actions are amusing to the audience.
And I'm back.
Yeah, they kind of have like the
sass.
the
Most of
anime
the sass
girls
between you two is
sass.
out of character, though.
We still have some in character moments though. Like
Yeah, there are definitely some in character moments. Like the whole falling around and Lullen makes sure she didn't cause shit, and ironically enough, shit was caused, but only because the freaking princess caused.
Mm-hmm.
And I bribed you with takeout.
Is everybody back
Fair,
here?
most of that was just like, I don't want this to wait 15 minutes. I'll just be like, Nell's not a morning person. Just give food now.
I'm gonna get punched for it still. It's fine. I've got a plan for that.
Is everybody here?
hey,
Oh,
Trey?
I'm here.
Okay, that's everybody.
Roll call. Trig, you
No.
here? Yeah, that's everybody.
No, I heard all of the voices except for him.
Okay. I'm sorry. I have to.
All right. I'll bring us back in here.
So,
In 3, 2, 1. And we're back. All right. Previously on Final Fantasy Pathfinder, they got the boat and they got the guy. Both the prince and the airship have been retrieved, and they're back on their way to Lullen for a job well done and a pat on the back.
I really doubt that's what's gonna happen, considering it was go with the envoys, go find the prince. We brought him back. Why? Why here? Where did you get the airship? He doesn't want to go home. We're also taking the princesses. Bye.
Yeah.
I think I go at least a little bit smoother than that.
There's been a lot of silliness. There's been a lot of like things going off the rails, so to speak, with the plans the party makes and the way that they end up being executed. That's always the case with D&D. But yeah, on the way back now, and we return to them in transit. So, Chef is spending 8 of this 9.5-ish hours training in his gun room with his gun. Which is
In the
becoming,
BFG room with the LFG, the little effing gun.
I'll move us back to the airship.
Okay.
Rika says that the crystal in the interlude wasn't spinning.
Crystal in the
I'm
interlude
looking
is
at the stream and it
weird.
wasn't spinning.
Ooh.
Yeah, it seems like a little bit broken up. Like it'll flip to one side, then another, then another.
That might have been a frame rate issue. It might have just been not refreshing. It seemed like it was rotating on the outgoing from OBS. We'll keep an eye on that.
Maybe Twitch is just being weird.
Maybe Twitch is being twitchy.
Womp.
Alright.
Womp.
What's the other people doing? You got a whole basically day here.
Tyro's gonna head down and see Cookie about trying to learn the basics of the magic that he saw on display back in the reef.
I'm
Do
gonna
we
go
still
talk
have
to the
the
princes
power of the
and
thing?
grab some food when I do so. Because probably haven't fucking eaten since we got back from camp.
Yeah, that'd be a good idea.
Alright.
Do we still have the
That
power
and
of
they're
the
probably
thing?
hungry.
You still have the what plate? What? What about that trick?
Do we still have the power of the thing?
You guys can take shifts.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I can eat greens. So can I eat greens from my pack while I'm doing it?
Oh yeah, no, you
Oh yeah.
just gotta kind of keep your concentration, but you can eat.
Chef halfway through the journey, like, pockets the gun blade. I guess there was a holster that came with, just strapped on the
imagine,
side.
yeah.
Like, folds it away, puts it in the holster, and then then like a pothead at 2 a.m. stumbles into the kitchen looking for leftovers to just munch on.
I ate rope. I'll be fine for a little bit.
I'll just grab one of the rations out of my
really,
pack. It's
really rough spaghetti.
Get some water
fine.
to.
It's like friction.
Yeah.
You have the best one-liners, I swear. I have a why, and also I ate rope.
Well, so long as
And don't forget the infamous step on me.
Yeah, no, I
Also,
believe me, I'll never forget that.
As a
So
side
I'm-
note, did you pull off the intro screen off the stream? Because I still see it on my end. I don't know. Unless
Ooh.
it was
No,
just
it
frozen.
should be outgoing as the proper thing here.
Huh.
Let me double
Let me
check.
just
Yeah, we're
refresh
still
it
getting
real
desktop
quick.
audio. There's gonna be a lot of cuts, a lot of editing in this one.
I
Yeah,
refreshed
sorry.
and it was. It's still the crystal.
Ooh, that's not good.
How difficult
Oh.
would it be to just shut down OBS and just bring it all back up?
I can shut it down and bring it up back up. Alright. Stand by for technical difficulties. We're bringing it down and back up real quick. Be right back.
Okay, whatever you do, don't decide to eat mattress foam and become a mattress.